I call the Tangipahoa Parish School Board meeting to order. Roll call, Ms. Cindy.
Present. Mr. Toller?
Here.
Ms. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Present.
Mr. Duncan?
Here.
Mr. Bush? Mr. Moore?
Here.
Ms. Simmons? Here. Ms. Dominguez?
Present.
If everyone would please stand, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Moore, if you would introduce.
Okay, so tonight we have a third grade student from Woodland Park Magnet School, Miss Malia Jackson, going to lead us in the pledge.
And it goes right into the song.
And then the national anthem will be by the third grade student from Woodland Park Magnet School. Curtis Miller, Jalea Armstead, Kayla Alexander, Lalaya Dotson, and Koryaya Hutchinson.
Everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Woodland Park, for such an excellent job.
Awesome job by Woodland Park. All right, we're going to move on to D. Consider approval of the board minutes from October 19th, 2021. Have a motion?
Have a motion to accept.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Dominguez, second by Mr. Westmoreland. Roll call, Ms. Cindy. No, roll call.
Voting is
Voted.
open.
Cindy.
Ms. Richards votes yes. Mr. Moore votes yes. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Moving to awards and recognitions. Ms. Sandra, we're going to recognize the Jake Bailey Jr. Above and Beyond Award.
Okay, you want to, you and Miss Melissa come up? brought Mr. Jeremy Lloyd from Eastside. And Miss Johnson is representing that school tonight. Congratulations. A certificate of recognition, this certifies, the certificate is awarded to Jeremy Lloyd in recognition for being the recipient of the Enos F. Jake Bailey Jr. Above and Beyond Award. And when I got this, this notice from Miss Ryan, she had been in your class. Yes, ma'am. And what she told me on the email is that it made her want to be a student all over again and sit in that class. She said it was so amazing. And now I want to come see you, teach you. And anyway, she said the kids were just so attentive and they were on task, and you were just an amazing teacher. So we're so proud to give you this award tonight. And one more thing, and then I have here Tangipahoa Parish School System. And I wrote this note: Dear Mr. Lloyd, congratulations on your being selected to receive the Enos F. Jake Bailey Above and Beyond Award. You come highly recommended for this honor. We know your students are blessed to be in your class, and that it is obvious that you love teaching them. God bless you and your family. Sandra Bailey Simmons, school board member and founder of the award. And a gift certificate to Canes. We like that.
Miss Melissa Ryan did send me a few words. Just on her behalf, I would like to share them with you. She says, I'm so excited to honor this extraordinary teacher tonight. Mr. Lloyd has shown how he goes above and beyond for his students through his carefully planned lessons. He is incorporating social emotional learning in his music and dance classes. It was something special to watch the way he ignored the silly actions of some students and instead poured positive words of affirmation into each of the students. Within minutes, he had the attention of all of his students. It was amazing to watch their confidence grow throughout the lesson. We need more teachers like Mr. Lloyd who chooses to see the good in their students and works hard to pull out the greatness that is in each of them. Thank you, Mr. Lloyd, for your enthusiasm for teaching and for the love you clearly have for your students. Our system is better because of you, and your students' lives are better because of the positive impact you have on them each day. You are a true gift to TANGI. Thank you.
I would like to say one thing about it. I didn't know that you were getting this award tonight, but this gentleman has entertained for me at the very special Miss Louisiana pageant that we do every year. He sings for us, and he has an amazing voice. So if you have an opportunity, I'm going to invite him back to come to our pageant on January 21st and 22nd. You need to come and hear him sing.
Thank you so much for this amazing award. I wasn't sure you meant me. I said, me? I wasn't sure I was the one that received this. It was early in the morning. I was like, I'm not even awake. Are you sure it's me? To first thank God for this honor and the privilege to invest back into my students what was invested into me. To Superintendent Stilley, distinguished board members, Ms. Ryan, thank you for bestowing this great honor upon me. To my Hammond Eastside family, thank you for embracing me and giving me a place to grow and flourish. When you come into my classroom, you're likely to see a little bit of Mr. Rogers and Sister Mary Clarence from Sister Act 2. My students will tell you that if you want to be somebody, and if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. And through dancing and singing, we strive daily to spread love, promote positivity, and extend grace to ourselves and each other. And by doing so, we aim to be open-minded risk-takers and very caring. So this award is not just for me. It's for those students that I get to teach each and every day. So in closing, thank you again for this award. Remember to spread love, spread peace, and share a smile. Thank you so much.
We're going to move on to our academic update, the presentation of the streaming and Tangipahoa Parish school systems. Ms. Carly Cooper, Ms. Glenda Husser, Ms. Dina Spears, Ms. Colette Talion.
The dream team.
It is a pretty great team, I'm going to say. These ladies are very helpful anytime you call them. So I want to talk about STREAM, science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and math. You hear a lot about STEM, but we're STREAM in Tangipahoa. Our mission is to prepare students to seek STREAM opportunities in college or the workforce while earning certifications in a high-wage career pathway. And that is the website there for the Louisiana STEM Initiative. And so it is a site all on its own. Our STREAM goals, the first one is to increase the number of STEM courses that are offered in the STEM pathways. And the STEM pathways are biomedical science, computing, environmental protection and sustainability, LSU digital design and emergent media, pre-engineering, and the Xavier University pre-pharmacy pathway. These are the STEM courses that are being offered by our teachers. Anytime I come up here and talk, I try to give them all the credit because these ladies and gentlemen spend anywhere from 3 weeks to 6 weeks of their summer in training to offer these courses. They are brought to us by LSU. And if you ever wonder if a conference is worth your money, I found out about these STEM courses at the LaQ conference that we go to every year, and that's the Louisiana Association of Computer-Using Educators, and that's where I heard a teacher talk about these courses and say that her students were ready to come to class every day and that they hated to miss class, and they would see her working through the next project, and they would come up to her desk and say, is that what we're gonna do next? You know, do I get to do this next? So it is exciting, and in some of our computer pathways, we're good at teaching them where to click to earn the certification. We're not as good, because that's not our field, with why do we do this? Why do we put it all together? And that's what the LSU pathways have done for us, is to give us that piece of actual work experience in there. But these are our STEM pathway teachers. We have a pharmacy technician program that we work with Xavier on. And they actually, if they complete this pathway, they can get a seat in the College of Pharmacy. And so that's a big deal, not having to wait to see if you're in. If they maintain a certain GPA, then they have a contingent seat, is what they call it, in the College of Pharmacy at Xavier. And these are just some pictures, because I'm gonna say, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the CTE activities that we do are STEM, because we're producing a product, you're using technology, you're using science, you're using engineering. The gentlemen, they are made a catapult out of just everyday materials. We have some school-based enterprises, so the kids, you know, get a chance to make a t-shirt, design a t-shirt, make a t-shirt, and of course our welding program at Independence is well known. Another STREAM goal is to increase the number of industry credentials that are earned by all students. And I know you've heard me talk about industry credentials before, and I just listed them there for you. Those are the ones that we are currently offering or either trying to offer for the spring. And we just finished a micro-enterprise activity at Southeastern with the help of the Tangipahoa Chamber. And you see the interviews go in there, and I was discussing with Mr. Toller that I was impressed that not only did the students have a good experience, but most of the employers, when they got through, said what a wonderful experience it was for them too, to be able to talk to the young people and give them some pointers on what, you know, can make them successful. Our ag programs, our technology programs, we work hard. these are our Jumpstart pathways, and in the STEM courses pathways that you see down at the bottom, those are the ones that we currently are offering courses in right now. We do not have one of these pathways complete yet, but this is going to take a building process. It's not going to happen overnight because, again, you've got to have teachers willing to spend anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks of their summer to go take these classes. And then LSU does follow up with us too, where one weekend a month they may go up there on a Saturday and work with them.
It's my turn. Thank you for having me. I love science, and anytime I can talk about science, I enjoy it. My job is the best job ever because I get to talk to teachers so they can get excited about science so that our students can get excited about science. So STEM is in our curriculum. We have STEM every day in science, and it's in our 3 curriculums that we have adopted, which is PhD science for K through 5, Open SciEd, which is 6 through 8, and Inquiry Hub for biology. And all of those things have been funded through various programs, through federal programs. So you can tell Ms. Lanier that I did her spiel for her.
I have a question.
These are some of our kids. I'm sorry.
Can I pause you? A question about that?
Sure.
So, one of the teachers reached out to me a couple of weeks ago about our science curriculum for the 5th through 8th grade, which I think we just switched over to that new curriculum this past year, right?
No, sir. 5th grade is PhD. We've had it in 5th grade for 3 years. Open SciEd is 6 through 8.
Right, that's what I'm talking about, 6 through 8. Was that just this year we switched over to that curriculum?
No, sir. Open SciEd is being developed. It's open source, so it's free to our district. They are continuing to build it. So there have been more units built this year, but
Okay.
we've been implementing it for several years.
Okay, well, this particular teacher was just asked to use it this year for the first time, but her question was related to whether we were going to be getting the kits that are in that curriculum because we don't have them yet. Is that something that's on its way or that's in the works?
That's a great question.
Okay.
This year we were able to buy teacher's editions, which we were able to use federal monies to buy, but we are not currently able to buy the kits because it's not a tier 1 curriculum, it's not completed.
Okay.
So I'm very hopeful that they will complete it soon, and then we will be able to buy the kits.
Gotcha. So once they finish the development and it's certified as a tier 1 curriculum, then we can work on getting the kits that are part of it. Okay.
Yes, sir, and I will advocate for that for all I'm worth.
Got it. All right. Well, that's what we needed to know. Thanks.
So these are some of our students who are in our classrooms, and they're doing activities that are aligned to those curriculums. And you can see that they really enjoy them. So STEM and science, what does that look like today? It's very different than when you and I were in science classrooms. All the lessons revolve around phenomena, and that's a new word. That means it's all related to some kind of natural event, all the lessons tied to it so they can understand science around them every day. And we do that through thinking and problem solving. And they're doing engineering challenges, which I'll show a picture of in just a moment. And while they're doing that, they're analyzing graphs and data and charts because that's a skill not just for elementary school, but that's a skill for high school, and it's assessed on the ACT very heavily. So we start that in elementary school to build to that. And then in the high school and the middle schools, we talk a lot about safety procedures and lessons for the students in learning how to be safe and how to use chemicals wisely. So these are some of our students. They're doing an engineering challenge, which is very relevant to Louisiana. They were in charge of building a structure that would not erode when they poured water over it. And they were using common household things, popsicle sticks, pipe cleaners to represent structures. And they had a lot of fun doing that. So another part of my job that I really enjoy is working with Southeastern and other agencies to secure grants. One of the grants that we're currently implementing this year is the NOAA grant, and it started off with our 7th grade teachers, but lots of other science teachers asked to be involved, and so we extended that. We have 10 schools participating. Those teachers were given professional development from Southeastern professors. They were invited to go to Turtle Cove for a field trip. that they enjoy greatly, and they've been paid an additional stipend through Southeastern for doing all of these things. We just recently wrote a grant for a STEM classroom that we're hoping that we'll have funded to do some work at Amy Magnet High School. Miss Carla Cooper and I work together on that, and it's going to help her with her introduction to robotics class, or engineering class, I'm sorry. These are some of the materials that the teachers were given for that Southeastern grant that we currently have. All the 10 schools have an aquarium with an aquaponics. That's the top part. They were given kits to test the water and some bio paddles to test what kind of nutrients were in the water, and that's one of our teachers who was doing it around Southeastern. We also, this summer, we were very excited to use NASA Astro Camp curriculum in our summer learning camps, and we have a couple of schools that are using it in their after-school programs, and it's also available. Myself and a couple of teachers were trained in it for any other activities that the schools are doing. And this was one of the activities they did this summer that aligned with that curriculum. We have robotics, as most of you know, the Torbotics and Wolf Bites. I collaborate a lot with Southeastern, as I already said, and they have a great thing that we use this summer in our summer learning camps that our kids really enjoyed called the Brain Food Truck. And it didn't feed them, it was food for their brains. And we use that extensively at summer school, but we've also came to different schools, and it's available for field days and family engagement activities. And this is a picture of them doing some of the activities. They had a lot of fun. The first picture is they had to design a track, and they measured the distance of how far their marble would roll. The second one, they were charged with building some kind of structure that would fly with cardboard and just general household items. And the third one, they had a dump truck with some toy things in it, and they were trying to keep it from falling out. So they had a lot of fun, and they're using just ordinary common things around the house. And then we have, again, we do a lot of partnerships with Southeastern. This was Dr. Troy Williams, that is a professor at Southeastern, and he did a lot of work with our summer learning camps. He did a Zoom once a week for the upper grades, and then he went to every campus and really talked to them, so it was a lot of high quality instruction that he was imparting to our students. And finally, one of my other things that I've been doing is partnering with La STEM, and Ms. Cooper mentioned that as well. We're in Region 9, and it's a great way for us as a district to connect and collaborate, so we're up on all the new initiatives and things that are happening in the state. So I'm very proud to work with the teachers and impart science and STEM. And if you have any other questions, Mr. Duncan or anybody else, I'm free to always talk about science. I love it.
Mr. Jinko told me I cannot speak. Hey, I'm not gonna be long, I promise. But y'all have been waiting for this, so it's gonna be awesome. Stream Bus, we are almost ready to roll, and just like these scientists you see up there, we are hoping to get our students exploring, tinkering, engaging, all while lighting a flame. Instead of filling a bucket, we want to light a flame, and hopefully we have one of these famous scientists in our midst. So we unveiled the outside of the Stream Bus that will be rolling through Tangipahoa Parish pretty soon, but now we want to reveal what the inside will look like. So we're going to take you through the inside of our Streamliner. We're almost ready to roll. We're right there. January is going to be ready. We're going to be following Miss Stilly behind her in the Christmas parade, so everybody will be able to see the outside, not so much the inside, but you get the inside tonight. So here are a few of the things that will be on the STEM bus, the Streamliner. Not everything I'm showing you because we have a lot more. We're going to exchange some activities in and out as we go to different places. But as you can see, the counters are dry erase, so we can pose a question to the students as they are exploring the different activities. What you're looking at right now is called a zooming microscope. I actually have a penny underneath it, and I pose the question, what do you see in the center of the Lincoln Memorial? And hopefully we see Lincoln right there in the middle, as you can see in the magnifying glass. One activity, and they'll have some other things there to be looking at under the microscope. You want me to play with food? Yes, we do. We use some bananas and we hook them up to what's called the makey-makey, and instead of playing the piano on the computer, they touch the bananas and the bananas play the music. They love it. You can start hooking up different things with the makey-makey. This is just one activity we'll have set up, and we'll change those out as well. Snap circuits. These are on a grid. They're learning coordinates. They have going north and south, east and west. They snap these circuits together. This one you see up close is creating a light, but there's a horn, there's a propeller. So if you notice at the top picture, top right, those are the directions. The kids follow the directions of so the card is there, all self-explanatory, no really adult needs to tell them what to do, and then they can create their own circuit onto that grid. We have Osmos on the bus. Those are with iPads. You see Osmo Words, Osmo Pizza Company. And the pizza company, they are learning how to count money and exchange money and they create their pizza. The iPad tells them when to move to the pizza. On the Osmo Words, they're learning beginning sounds, words of what goes with the picture. These are just 2 of the 8 different Osmo activities we have to interchange on the bus. The real flight simulator. I crashed my airplane several times. You can go ahead and press the video. This is what it'll look like. I do even So they'll have a computer up there with the simulator, and they can pick their own airplane and design the background so they can fly off water. And they have a controller right there on the side to try. They have tutorials in there and videos to show them how to take off, how to land, so they can watch those and then practice with their own airplane. This is the Code and Go robot. This is coding at early elementary. So if you see those cards off to the right, they actually use the big card in the back, create the coding on the side with the little cards, and then press the buttons on the mouse, and we want the mouse to eventually eat the cheese. And there's different cards so they can continuously set up the different patterns on there. We have VR goggles that'll be on there, transport to another world. You wear the goggles and then you become part of the design of wherever you want to be, different continent, different country. And then the little bits on the right side, again, circuitry, you're connecting these with magnets, you're coding them. You can have a buzzer, you can have a light, it can read something out. Everything has a card for the child to follow, so that way they're feeling success doing it themselves, and you just kind of monitoring them creating their circuit. And then we're going to have some things off the bus as well, because we can only have so many people on the bus. Some things lend themselves to be outside the bus rather than inside the bus. This can be in or out, but they're just kind of like your 2022 Lincoln Logs, but these movable, the things we grew up with, but these connect, move, and then again, if you see the little cards, it explains how many of each one they need. They pull out what they need, they build, and then they have their little action figure. So this one would be lending itself to using him outside the bus. This is Dash. You're gonna love Dash. Dash is a robot the students get to control and code what they want him to say, do, and he can light up. So this is Dash.
The TPSS Streamliner is coming your way.
So you can record things for him to say, and he said the TPSS Streamliner is coming your way. So we are excited to get rolling. In January, we should have our first place where we'll be attending. I'm going to start getting us in maybe to football games or basketball games outside Southeastern, different things around our parishes. And that way, instead of everything coming to us, we're going to them and they can see us out in the public. Any questions?
I don't have,
Board members get to ride in the bus behind the student at the
Say it one more time. I didn't hear.
Will we get to, will the board members get to ride?
Well, there's no seats, there's no seat belts.
There's no windows.
The windows have all our cute pictures, so I don't know how much fun it is. Y'all gonna sit on the floor and not see out. But, you know, it's not set up anymore to ride because it only has counters and stools on there. So I don't know how safe that would be.
Okay.
I mean, if you wanna hang out the window, or by the door.
make sure you get in touch with us for March. The Sicilian Festival will be the first festival in Tangipahoa Parish, March 11th, 12th, and 13th. I would love to have that maybe on a Saturday. You don't have to stay the whole weekend, but maybe on a Saturday.
We'll come for about 2 to 3 hours.
Definitely.
And we'll come there, stay there, and then if we're in a spot where we can.
We'll have a spot perfect for you. I know where we can put you.
Awesome. We're excited. Thank
Also,
you.
I did go to the interviews that the chamber did. I actually did some of the interviews with the students, and I was so impressed with. There was one student that really, really got to me. He was so wonderful. He spoke so great. I really was impressed with the way they presented themselves, because it was a good opportunity for them to see what they would have to do when they go into a job interview or into any kind of, like I told one of them, interview for a college, scholarship. They do that at Southeastern. And so I was very impressed with the way they presented themselves. They were all dressed so nice as well. Anyone else has any questions for the ladies?
Very good, ladies. Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to move on to 4, consider committee reports. Capital Outlay Committee of a Whole from November the 2nd, 2021. Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make that motion.
Ms. Sandra made the motion.
Second.
Second by Mr. Westmoreland. Call for a vote, Ms. Cindy.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
B, our Finance Committee met on November the 2nd, 2021. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Motion by Mr. Westmoreland, second by Mr. Duncan. Voting, Ms. Cindy.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
C, Policy Committee of a Whole from November 2nd, 2021. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Duncan, second by Ms. Sandra. Call for a vote, Ms. Cindy.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
We're going to move on to 5, to our superintendent reports and recommendations.
Yes, Madam President, thank you. Item 5A, we'd like the board to consider approval of the Governor John Bel Edwards proclamation acknowledging November as Family Engagement Month. And on the attachment, I think Ms. Jenkins has it up on the screen. No matter our political affiliations, I think we all can agree that the partnership with families and education, along with our teachers and school staff, is the difference maker when it comes to student achievement and when it comes to really preparing students for life after high school. So we have a proclamation here from the Office of our Governor. I'm going to read it. It's on your screen. Whereas the state of Louisiana values education and the academic success of our youth, and whereas Family Engagement Month is a time to recognize the critical alliance between parents and schools in supporting the needs of our children and overcoming the significant challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, and whereas families are a child's first and longest lasting and most important teachers and advocates and nurturers, and whereas positive parenting and strong family engagement can be central to promoting a child's healthy development and wellness, and whereas a strong partnership between schools and families and communities can aid in developing a generation of successful and productive, conscientious citizens, and whereas it is important for schools, early learning settings, and the community to welcome families and plan for family engagement and to assist families in engaging their child's learning in ways that are effective. And whereas the state of Louisiana supports organizations that are committed to assisting families with engaging in their child's education and developing stronger connections with schools in their community. And whereas the state of Louisiana encourages citizens to foster a love of learning in youth and continue to advocate for effective family engagement as an integral part of the school community. Now, therefore, I, John Bell Edwards, Governor of the state of Louisiana, do here proclaim November 2021 as Family Engagement Month in the state of Louisiana. And Cindy, I think you have a slide, or do you have that slide that we sent? Maybe not, but we have a couple links that the governor's office sent out that have videos. That we're not going to show the videos, but we're going to be pushing these out on our social media. It just talks about, they're really videos for parents to just really show the importance of being engaged in their child's learning and supportive of the schools in which their children attend. They have things about, how to be engaged, tell us something good about, in regards to their education or school. So we'll be pushing these things out this month in honor of Family Engagement Month. So I just ask the board if they'd like to support this proclamation.
Make a motion to support the proclamation as written.
Second.
Call for a vote, Ms. Cindy.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Moving on to 6, consider approval to refer development of a policy relative to parental rights and responsibilities to the policy committee. Mr. Duncan?
Yep, this goes along with the action that we just took. This would just be a more, in addition to the proclamation, it would be a concrete action where the board recognizes again that partnership between the system and parents, and then outlines specific rights and responsibilities that we would publish in the handbook each year, so that we really outline that partnership. So this would just be the first step in kind of trying to develop that policy, and just would ask for the board's support in doing that. So I would move to refer the development of policy relative to parental rights and responsibilities to the policy committee at this time.
Second.
Second by Ms. Sandra. Call for a vote, Ms. Cindy.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Moving on to B, consider approval of the low quote for re-roofing the Resource Center by CMR Construction. Mr. Schneiderbach.
Thank you, Madam President. We've gone ahead and taken quotes. The low quote is from CMR Construction to re-roof the Family Service Center roof, the building that's located over there across from the mall. Would ask the board to consider approval of the low vendor.
Move to adopt administration's recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Duncan, second by Mr. Westmoreland. Call for a vote. Ms. Cindy?
Voting is open. Oh, I'm sorry. Now it's open.
I thought my computer broke. Everybody voted, Ms. Cindy?
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Moving on to C, consider approval of Ponchatoula High School 8 classroom addition change order number 1 due to unforeseen subsurface plumbing issues. Mr. Schneiderbach.
Yes, we've started work on our Phase 1 project, a classroom addition at Ponchatoula High. This project calls for the removal of 5 feet of mud on the campus, on the construction site, and replaced with clay. We came across, as they were digging, they actually came into some plumbing that was unforeseen, that was not on any of our maps or any of our designs, that was not identified with some subsurface inspections prior to the construction. The cost for the repair and the emergency repair related with that is in the change order to correct that and relocate this underground water in sewer is $24,225.61. Would ask the board to go ahead and approve this change order.
Move to approve the change order.
Second.
Question on that. What size plumbing are we talking about?
What size plumbing?
What size sewer line and water line are we're talking about? We're talking about $24,000.
Well, it was a long run. It was cutting right through the middle of the building footprint, and then we had to go around it and reroute it and all. So it's just a basic 4-inch sewer line, and I think it was a 2-inch water line. So.
Okay. And we're comfortable with that price for doing that type of relocating?
Mr. Toll, it also includes the corrective work. This happened on a Friday. Y'all may remember there was a home game, I think, with St. Paul, and they had to make the corrections late that night to go ahead and keep the water going to the stadium so we could have the game go on. It was a kind of a challenging situation for both our maintenance and the contractor.
Snowball, this is this repair, or is it just in lieu of being able to do the other work that the contractors are doing?
Well, it's actually a change order to the original contract. So a change order is we're revising the construction contract to allow for this change. It was unforeseen when the architects designed the project, so the contractor did not know there was some subsurface utilities in the area. So what they had to do is now relocate that. So we're actually modifying the construction document to ask the contractor to relocate the subsurface utilities to go around the footprint of the building.
All right, the motion was made by Mr. Westmoreland and second by Ms. Sandra. Call for a vote, Ms. Cindy.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
D, consider approval of the Ponchatoula High School 8 classroom addition change order number 2 due to the addition of 2 single-use restrooms required by the parish permit office. Mr. Schneiderbach.
Yes, ma'am. During the permitting, architects were advised by the parish permit office that the IBC plumbing code required additional classrooms based on the size of the addition and the number of students on campus. The requirement for restrooms is calculated based on, obviously, the number of students. The architects utilized the actual number of students within each classroom, an average of 27 in their calculations. The parish insisted that the number of students be calculated based on the square footage of the spaces, which ended up being 41. It's physical impossible to fit 41. Let's see. So the school administration welcomes the addition. The principal says that the 2 individual classrooms, there are currently no private classrooms on the campus, so it would be beneficial to have that. So in order to meet permanent requirements, we're out revising the contract to allow for the construction of 2 single classrooms within that hallway. 2 restrooms. Thank you.
Motion to approve the change order.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Westmoreland, second by Ms. Dominguez. Any questions?
So is this going to be where exactly in that hallway?
You know where the hallways jut out and get expanded, and there'll be some classrooms, it'll be kind of like right before it expands out, so it'll be in that area. It'll be, there'll be classrooms behind it, so it'll be just small classrooms that are close to the hallway.
Okay.
Ms. Rose, it's actually where we already had some storage rooms and some laptop chargers.
That's what I was getting ready to,
So we just, the storage rooms got slightly smaller and we eliminated one of those laptop chargers.
yeah, because we don't really do that anymore.
It's basically the same configuration as the floor plan, we just
So basically, at the end of the hall, right before the collaboration area.
Is this just a disagreement in the way we see things as the way the permit office?
It's a difference in interpretation of the code.
Because I know, and I'm not, forgive me, but I'm not a huge fan of change orders, obviously, because we're the ones paying. And most people that are building a home, they don't like change orders because it ends up costing them more money. So I'm just wondering, in a situation like this, is it because we missed something? Is it because we just basically read the square footage requirements differently than what maybe the parish does?
Keep in mind, we were 400,000 under budget on this project, so just
Right.
keep that in the back of your mind.
But, yeah, we already celebrated that, so.
Don't take it away from
Yeah,
them.
we're past that. Now we're worried about today's dollars.
Yeah, what have you done later, yeah. It is, we were trying, the Ponchatoula High School is a huge school, and when you calculate plumbing fixtures, typically in a new building, it's pretty simple. You have your building. So our contention was that there's restrooms already there, right at the end of this hallway, and we were just plugging into that thing. Apparently, back when those previous additions were done, the code has changed since then, so the requirement for restrooms is more. Furthermore, you can't fit 41 kids in these classrooms, so
Right.
we were trying to basically see if we can negotiate to get this lesser requirement, and they didn't go for it, so.
Call for a vote, Ms. Cindy.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
All right, we're moving right along tonight. Mr. Jerry, you want to start with some personal privilege down there on the end?
All right. Okay, so first I want to express my appreciation for all our teachers, for all our employees. I admire the diligence and the persistence that all of our, from the administration down, have worked to make this thing work, and I think that it's finally leveling out. And I mean, I wanted to do a pat on the back before I say that. I am concerned that maybe some of our principals are not thoroughly understanding that we are not under the no tolerance, the zero tolerance policies that were applied before. I want to express this because I've heard about this more than one time, and so I just want to try to end the phone calls that I'm getting, concerning the lack of tolerance, the lack of compassion, I should say, that is being shown. I know that the policies that we have are sufficient. I know that we have some good policies in place, but the consistency and the practice of those policies is what I'm emphasizing, what I'm pushing for, what I'm encouraging. Let's follow the superintendent's motto. Be great, be compassionate, and be respectful. Okay.
Mr. Mingus?
Good, thank you.
You good? Tom?
Yeah, I'm glad to see, just a couple of quick things, I'll try to make it quick, but like Ms. Cooper was saying, I did get a chance to work with some of the students on the entrepreneur presentations, and I was extremely impressed. We have a lot of good students, but I'm also impressed with the proclamation that we did tonight because, and I'll say this real quick, when Stacy, my wife, was breaking down, I think I've told Ms. Stilley some of this before, but when she was breaking down her numbers from her testing, from her LEAP scores from last year, she, like me, broke it down 15 different ways, by child's color, by race, by gender, by everything you could. But the most important information that she found in there was she said, if a parent, and she's called all of her parents as a teacher, as most of our teachers probably do, but if a child's parents had called her one time during the year, 85% of those kids made mastery or above on their LEAP scores, regardless of gender, race, whatever. And I say that to say that was proof in the pudding that parental involvement is what will turn schools around. Forget where it is, forget who the principal is, forget what the ratio is of the faculty. Parental involvement will turn our schools around. And we have got to figure out a way, because if we spend our time trying to raise kids at school, we can't teach them. And that goes into what Mr. Moore is talking about with all the discipline and everything else. We have got to figure out a way to get back to teaching and let parents do parenting. And I wish we could figure that out. There's no magic button, and we're not the only school system that's facing that. But with all the phone calls in the last few weeks, it all boils down to parental problems. But anyway, that's it.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Amen to Mr. Toller. We definitely need parents involved with the children from the very beginning. Thank you, ladies, for y'all's presentation. Very helpful. Like to wish all of our employees a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your time off. And last but not least, I'd like to say happy anniversary to Mr. Bill and Miss Sandra today.
Happy anniversary.
Yay. Well, can I go back? I forgot, I wanted to congratulate Punch Hill High. We're going to the playoffs, and I think we have another school in the north end. Is it Amy?
Amy.
So Punch Hill High's coach, Hank Tierney, this is his 35th season, and he's knocking on 300 wins for a high school football coach. So we're cheering him on. If the team can keep winning, then he may hit that 300 level. And they're doing a great job. So we're real proud of them. So good luck to the Green Wave this weekend.
Ms. Sandra?
Didn't Devontae made a touchdown this weekend? That's what I thought. And of course, he's
touchdown.
still on the commercials too. We get excited. We make sure we watch him because he's one of ours. I just wanted to say I've read this document that Mr. Duncan put together on parents' rights and responsibilities, and I think it's critical what he put together here when you all get a chance to read it and all, that we make note of this, that this is something that's critically important right now across our nation. And also to the parental involvement, it's an age-old problem. But as a past teacher, that was the thing that we lacked the most, just getting all the parents involved, because the discipline was the major factor. And then, of course, GPA, because they didn't have anybody at home to help them, so that's an issue.
Mr. Duncan?
Just want to also wish Miss Sandra and Mr. Bill a happy anniversary. I hope we can get y'all out of here in time to where y'all can do something a little bit more romantic for your anniversary than a school board meeting. But congratulations. It's great to see you, Mr. Bill.
Thank you.
Hey, and I would just like to say, Bill, I did not recognize you back there, man. You're looking great.
Ms. Janice?
Okay, also happy anniversary.
Thank you.
The other thing that I want to say, I want to thank the interviewing committee and Superintendent Steele for our new principal and assistant principal, Ms. Tori Gordon Hook-Finn, which is our new principal at O.W. Dillon, and Rosa Ellerser, I keep wanting to say Ellerser. And we just want to thank you. And again, this is what we need at O.W. Dillon is some parent involvement. So we're encouraging the parents to come out and support us because we need to bring our scores up at O.W. Dillon. And that's exactly what it's going to take, is the parent involvement.
Ms. Dillon? Nothing? I would, happy anniversary. I would like to say that we did today sign the final documents for our land purchase over at Laranja. We now are proud owners of 40 acres in Laranja.
Great.
And timber. So eventually, hopefully, we'll have a new school coming up out there in Laranja in the next years to come. And at least we have land to build it now. Yes, exactly. And I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and let's give thanks for everything we have here because things could have been so much worse with our hurricane. But just thank you all for all that you continue to do. And Mr. Duncan, if you want to
Move to enter executive session to consider the cases of Joshua Poche et al. Versus Tangipahoa Parish School Board and Cleo Bridges versus Tangipahoa Parish School System.
Second.
Second.
We got a second from Mr. Westmoreland, yes.